out the roots, he let the beats build, bitch. And we never switch. Even if I'm rich, I'll be broke like I'm Mitch. Niggas talking down, but that's headed in the wrong direction. But I knock that shit out like the boxing section. Cause they can't touch what they can't see. All I gotta do is be the same me. All I gotta do is keep it cheap. Always be the same me. While I'm solid, boy, they can't change me. No.
We live from the boxing section, you dusty ass niggas. What's going on, man? We live from the boxing section. We got a very special guest, legendary cut man, movie star, listen, he is now what you call a dual star, you know what I mean? Not only is he the most recognized cut man, he's also a movie star. One of the best guys you could ever meet in the boxing game. Great teacher, great mentor, none other than my man, Sitch Duran. What's going on?
Hey, thanks for having me on. Nice intro, by the way. I want to let you know it's I know it gets the fans all excited when they see all of this action going on. So good job, brother. Yeah, it's good to be on.
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We gotta get right into it, man. Because sure. I seen the movie, and me personally, I thought number 3 was the best one. Mm-hmm. What did you think about it?
Oh, I thought it was great, man. I was telling Michael B. Jordan is wrapping his hands. I said, Michael, and this is before the movie comes out, right? I said, Michael, you could be nominated for the Hall of Fame for the Academy Awards, right? And no, don't say that. Don't jinx me, But I talked about it yesterday. I think, when the time comes next year, when they do nominations for directors, I think Michael will be up there for sure. Jonathan Majors, everybody's talking about him, and what a great experience, man, just to spend 8 weeks with these guys, so with 6 weeks with Michael and Jonathan Majors, and then 2 more weeks with just Michael. But proud of my man. They did a great job. The storyline is good. It's going to go on to different sections. You saw Drago, right? Drago made a cameo, so you will see Drago down the road, and saw the little girl, and you'll see her down the road, and then there'll be some some other stories. But yeah, very nice, man. How'd you like it? Let me ask you. Let me be the host.
I thoroughly enjoyed it, man. And as I'm watching the movie, I'm telling everybody, oh yeah, that's my man right there. You know what I'm saying? I'm just happy to see you in there, because I'm like, man, that's like, that was amazing, because knowing you and like being around you so much and talking to you a lot, it was, I got like a sense of pride seeing you in the movie, and especially because the movie was so good, man. You know what I'm saying? From start to finish, the movie was amazing. Now, do you get recognized for being a movie star now these days?
Yeah, it's pretty insane, especially with the Creed 3 movie coming out. It's hey man, you're in the Creed movie, right? And I said, yeah, how'd you like it? But everybody has responded well, going to the gyms, with the guys, and at the fights that I did over the weekend, and and all that, people come up to me and bring up Creed 3. So what a great time we had, man. And I told Michael also in this movie, I said, Michael, this is the first major Hollywood movie where they have highlighted Mexican fighters, right? And it's funny, down the road, I see him doing an interview on some big network, and he brought up how important the Hispanic market is and all that. So I kind of fed a little bit of information to him, but it's true. They covered all aspects of the game, and Michael, for being a director for the first time, did a good job. Talking about recognition, so I'm at the premiere, and my brother co-wrote Creed 3, said, and I'll never forget the words. He goes, "We gave you a lot of center shots." And as you can see, I don't say my work is not done through dialogue; it's done through performance, right? But as you see in a lot of the shots, I'm kind of like right in the middle. So that's kind of cool.
Yeah, man, dude. I mean, the way that they shot the movie, the way that they did the transitions in the movie.
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing. We got somebody wanting to come in. Miss Patricia Shelton was going to ask you a few questions.
Sure.
Miss Patricia, how you doing?
I'm good. Hi, Cal. It's good seeing you, Cal. Mr. Duran. I just want to say it's an honor to be in my backyard and click on YouTube and see you before me. I have been seeing you since my teenage years during boxing. I'm not gonna hold long, but I respect you and I honor you and I thank you for the young men that are under your tutelage.
Nah, listen, I appreciate those kind words. They mean everything to me because it's everything I want to kind of do is to always give back. And of course, we're gonna take care of my man here because there's an old saying in the martial arts that when the student does his job, which is him, then the master's done his job, right? So got to give him props, and it's a great show, and that's why I'm here. And thank you for the compliments. And yeah, it's a blessing for me, and it blows my mind. You don't think it blows my mind? I'm not an actor, but I've been in all these great movies, and and then what I've done as a cut man, has, like I just said in an interview earlier, I don't think anybody, maybe you could bring somebody up, has worked as many fights and wrapped as many hands and worked as many cuts and worked with as many world champions as me. I don't know of any in all sports, so it's in the hundreds, so I've been blessed. Thank you.
I don't off top. I don't know any right now. Like I said, I just always see your face in the corner. And you do an excellent job. So okay, I'm not gonna hold you guys long. Kyle, keep up the good work. I am so proud of you. And you have Mr. Duran, Sitch on here with you. And thumbs up.
Now, real quick before you go, I'll give you another story as to how Kyle fills into this pattern of working with people, right? I remember one time when I was I lived in Oakland, and then I had a school of kickboxing, and Marvis Frazier fought Bone Crusher Smith in Richmond, California, and I was making the transition into being a cut man. And I asked this guy that did a good job, I said, "Look, I'm trying to learn to be a cut man. Can you tell me what you did?" He says, "Fuck you. I'm taking this to my grave, and you got to learn like me." He didn't, nothing. So I said, "I'm never going to be like this, man. Anybody that wants help, and if I could do it, and why not? You got to spread that." And my whole adage is, I've always said that I'm going to the top, and whoever wants to get on the bus, let's go. And only good people have gotten on the bus.
So that is a blessing from God. That's why you are so blessed. Why you're still young, you still look healthy. When we have been blessed to make it up to the top, and we bring other people with us, that's why God he just keeps us surrounded. Keeps you surrounded with angels seen and unseen. Thank you for that.
Sure.
That's awesome. That you didn't follow his lead, that in your heart you didn't allow that to happen. You brought other people with you.
Yes. I mean, even
that's amazing.
Well, yeah, like the Creed movie. When I grew up as a farm worker in a small 1,500 people, all Mexicans, all farm workers, right? We all grew up poor, but I never forget where I come from. So when Creed came out, I bought 50 tickets, and the people I grew up with in the migrant camp, there was like 20 of us. They were my special guests, and then the other 30 went to friends that I grew up with. So like I did an interview, and I said, without watering the roots, the tree is not going to grow, and so I went back home, and I got energy for myself, and I got energy for my friends, and of course, that's why we're here.
Right. Well, I'll tell you the truth. I haven't been able to see it yet, and I just got diagnosed with cancer. So I haven't been able to go anywhere yet. I'm still trying to process everything. But my baby sister has moved home with me. So we're in Indianapolis, Indiana. Today's a beautiful day, so we might just go see the Creep movie today, or
Good.
soon, coming soon.
Yeah, you need that. No, yeah, go check it out today because you need that positive energy and that laughing.
Definitely.
And just that energy is good for you, and it's good for the mind, it's good for your body. So go check it out.
Well, another
That
thing,
movie is great for perseverance.
yeah, I know one thing that I am gonna press forward what is your next fight? Who is the next person that you're gonna be the cut man for and the guy for?
Well, it's a whole group. I'm doing PFL MMA show here in Las Vegas Saturday, and so I'll be working with. I haven't done an MMA show since before the COVID, and I missed all these guys. And when they PFL Professional Fight League came to Las Vegas to do a show, I said, "Look, man, I'll do it for free. Just go hang out with the guys, right?" But they put me on the payroll.
Yeah.
So I'll be working that show Saturday here in Las Vegas.
So before I go through chemotherapy and all the crazy stuff, I'm really gonna.
Your phone breaking up, Miss Patricia.
Yeah, I didn't hear it.
So
Miss Patricia, you got to come out and come back in because your phone is you got like bad service.
I'm gonna get off, but I thank you guys. Okay.
Miss Patricia, before you go, many blessings, hugs, and best wishes. The boxing session, we love you and we appreciate you, and we're here with you.
Thank you.
Always. And whatever you need from us, we're gonna figure it out together.
Yeah, get on the bus.
Just keep on good shows.
And make sure you go see Creed 3.
I will.
Yeah.
All right. Bye, y'all.
I don't know
okay.
about it. All right. Bye-bye.
All right. We got another guy. He is the program manager for so many YouTube channels. Juan Combo. Combo, what's going on, man?
How you doing, man? I don't want to talk to you, Cal. I want to talk to Sitch.
Hey, go take a break, man. Go get some coffee.
Yeah, hey,
look. Listen, man, Mr. Sitch, man, it's an honor to talk to you.
Thank you.
You've been doing some great work for years. I remember one of my goals was to get into a heated match where I get split open and you got to patch me up. Like, I always just wanted to experience that, man. But I had a couple of questions for you, if you don't mind me asking you.
No.
What is your favorite cut? Like one that you see, you say, "Oh, this is easy. It's an easy day."
Well, there's never an easy day because you don't know what's going on, right? And what's going to go on the next round. So you do try to do a lot of preventive. But I'll tell you what the easy ones are. Yeah, the little small cuts and all that. But let's talk about the worst ones, right? That's a lot more important. And
yeah, that was my second one. I was going to ask you what's the worst cut you had to deal with.
And this, that big vein that you have coming down. Well, when you cut that, it's going to bleed like a pig, and it's real tough to stop. And when Badu Jack fought, I think Williams or something, he had that big old cut. When I was with the UFC with Forrest Griffith, when he fought Shogun, he had that big old cut. When I saved Vladimir Klitschko from his comeback fight after losing his fight, he had a big cut there, and I, kept his ass in the game, and I stopped the fight actually because it was so bad, and I knew he was winning on the scorecards. And after that, he became champion for 8 years. So those are the worst. The ones did once Saturday in Newark, that's right on the eyelid. Those are tough because that blood gets into the eyes. But the easy ones, yeah. Another one is the nose. It doesn't stop bleeding, but it makes the cut man look bad, and it's not bad. And the only reason they stop a fight is when a fighter is at a disadvantage. So easy cuts. I don't know. Yeah, you just kind of eat popcorn and put pressure on one of them, right? So
yeah. What cut did you like? What's the one cut that you wish you could put your hands on again? That you wish you like? Knowing what I know now, I could have really handled that one. This one better.
Done them all, bro. Yeah. I haven't done is a busted because in MMA they have those cauliflower ears, right?
Yeah, yeah. When they bust,
and I know some have been busted. They just pop open. I'm glad I haven't done those. There's no good solution to those. They're gonna
so
bleed.
stopping that.
Yeah, exactly. It's
So
gonna
no, what I'm asking is like, what's the out of you? I know you've done them all, but what's that one cut that you have that you've done that you said, man, now if I get a hold of that one, I know exactly. I could you know exactly you could have done to make it better or to stop the bleeding faster or whatever.
Yeah, that's let me answer it this way because it's funny. I told you this cut I did in Newark Saturday on ESPN. The kid had a long cut like this, and I stopped it and went to decision. And the ringside doctor asked, he said, "Wow, great job. How did you stop it?" And it's all an application. It's not so much
Okay.
how big the cut is. It's so like I tell them, and I tell everybody as they're trying to learn to be cut man is you always go and always squeeze it because you get those little veins that are leaking. So you squeeze it and you get the remainder blood out of those little veins. And the medication that we use, which is adrenaline chloride 1000, it's a vessel constrictor. So when you put it on there, it's a liquid form. You put it there and it absorbs into the veins, and in theory, it closes up the veins. And then, you continue putting pressure on it. Those are the basic techniques for just about any cut is pressure. And so, yeah, but that's a good question. Nobody's ever asked that. And that's why I'm a little stumped on the answers of shit. How do I give you a good one?
No, listen, anything you say is gonna be legendary and good, man.
Yeah.
And I know you kept speaking about. First of all, I want to say it was like you was in every corner last Saturday. I was like, God dang, they keep this guy busy, man. And it was beautiful.
Well, let me tell you what happens. I was in Tulsa the week before, and out of the 9 fights, I did 7. But
yeah,
let me tell you why this happens like this is when we had COVID. I live in Las Vegas, right?
okay.
Called me and they were going to do 18 shows in the bubble at the MGM. So we're going to it, and nobody was working at that time. So me and Mike Basil from San Francisco, we became what they called the house cutmen, kind of like what we did with the UFC. So they could only bring so many people into the house, into the MGM because it was of COVID. So we represented the guys as cutmen, and they liked the program so much that when COVID finished, they kept us going. So just like MMA, when they see me on a card, everybody wants me to wrap their hands, and everybody wants to work their corners, and I try to do.
As a fighter, that becomes it helps you feel more comfortable. And especially like you said, they worked with you during COVID, and then you being who you are. I'm pretty sure you give them a sense of comfort. I'm pretty sure you give anyone a sense of great comfort.
Yeah,
in the corner.
That's a good point because, as I said, I had breakfast with some friends the other day. These guys are modern day gladiators, but deep inside, they're all babies. And my job is to take care of the baby, right? And they feel that. It's important. Even like Michael B. Jordan in the Creed movie, he's not a fighter, but he did everything just like a fighter, right? And boy, he'll hug me and tell me he loves me, And so you get those kind of feelings from these guys because you're giving them 100% of what you have and makes them a better person.
Okay, so you keep speaking about the Creed movie, man. It was awesome to see you in it. What I liked about the Creed movie was they shined a little more light on the dirtiness of boxing. The little tricks that people do in the ring, the little slight things that actually happens to a fight in the ring that a lot of people don't see or don't know. The forearm, the elbow, the leaning on them, pulling, the headbutts, the knees, those things that happen. I was wondering, do you think we'll ever get a movie, and we can call it the Sitch movie, of the ringside doctor or the ringside cut man and things you go through from the learning process of becoming a cut man and the dealing with the cuts. I'm pretty sure when you seen your first cut, your adrenaline was pumping, and does it still leave a pump when you see cuts now?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah, of course, that's the thrill of victory, right? But yeah, I get excited, and I expect those. I always prepare for the worst case scenario. So when it happens, boom, I'm ready to go at it. But no, I appreciate the whole compliments and all that. That's just pretty awesome. So yeah, oops, I just lost you guys.
No, we can hear you. I think it's just your video right now. Keep talking while you're working through that if you like. There you go.
No, I'm
but
sorry.
No, I'm not going to take too much of your time. Thank you so much, sir.
All right, my man. God bless.
All right, man. Hey,
Combo,
about that movie though.
Combo. You good, bro? You good? You good?
Oh,
okay,
no,
okay.
no, because it went blank a little bit. What was the question on the movie? I'm sorry.
Hey, man, I need to see that. We need that movie. We need the Cut Man
Oh,
movie. You know that they
yeah.
have the movie about the promoters. They have the movies about the fighters. They have the movies about the managers. But I want to see one with the Cut Man and the doctor, man, because you guys, the things y'all do and the science y'all put into wrapping the hands and understanding, like if a person slaps with their wrist and how to reinforce that part, or if the bones have been broken here and they got bad bones, or like scar tissue and how to prepare to deal with the different scar tissue. Like that's a whole thing within itself.
Well, thanks. And, actually, I'll let you know that they are putting a documentary together on my life right now. I wrote a book called From the Fields to the Garden, growing up as a farm worker with fields, and my goal was to make it to Madison Square Garden. So when they call me, I'm the kind of guy, you want to do it, let's do it. A week after I signed with them, I found out that Triple G was fighting, of all places, the Garden, which is the mecca of boxing, right? So these guys went and filmed 3 days of everything in New York. And then the COVID kicked in, and then we were down, and then we started again. We got Tyson Fury, we got Sean Porter Jr., we got Shane Mosley Jr., we got Michael B. Jordan that interviewed, and guys I grew up with as farm workers, MMA guys. So that'd be coming out by the end of the year. But I also, and then Kyle, please send me your address when we're done. About 23 years ago, I put a documentary together called Boxer's Nightmare. Me and this young kid, John Bartonhouse. He had just graduated from the American Film Institute. And he passed away about 4 months ago. And I hadn't seen this film in 15, 16 years. And I look at it and it blows my mind, because all the issues that are hurting boxing and now MMA with dementia pugilistica, the punch drunk syndrome, dehydration, finances. I addressed all those in this documentary with everybody, the Hall of Famer, Emmanuel Stewart, Mike Tyson a week before he got his tattoo, Richard Steele, Mills Lane, Joe Cortez, referees. I look at this film and I have to bring it out. So Kyle, please send me your email. I'll send you the documentary. Please send it to this gentleman, and then you guys let me know what. So we're gonna start the revolution, bro. I'm gonna, Mark Ratner, I say all these guys are Hall of Famers. Every one of them that died. Eddie Mustafa Muhammad, he's still awake. Fernando Vargas, I mean, they're still alive. But a majority of these guys were Hall of Famers that are now gone. And the information that they gave on how we can make this game better is all located there. So, so I'm glad you asked that. And I'll send it to you. And please, man, let's do another show. And you guys, let me know what you think about these things that I brought up and the answers. Joe Lewis's daughter.
So how do you feel about us reviewing that? Can we review it live here on the boxing section?
No, please, let's do it, man, because I want to, we're starting the revolution, bro. We got to bring this out. And I mean, it blows my mind with the interviews that I asked and the information that they gave me. And so a tribute to my buddy, John Bartonhouse. And, so, yeah, check it out, man. So, Kyle, send me your email, and then please let me get it, guys.
So, Mr. Sitch, we know everyone wants you in their corner, but how do you choose what corner you want to be in?
Well, with Top Rank, like you saw Saturday, I worked with Shakur Stevenson and Jared Anderson and a lot of the A fighters. With Top Rank, they have first choice with me. And if I've worked with somebody before, then I have that priority of working with them. But usually, the A's top rank fighters, they'll ask me, and if anything, to wrap their hands or cuts. So yeah,
is that like a contractual agreement or just a honor thing?
That's a good question, and that's it's part of the documentary is getting out on paper, right? With Top Rank, of course, we have a contract going. Now, then a show in Jacksonville, Mississippi. Everything to me is done. At least Texas. Hey, well, it's going to this for this, and at least something on right. So yeah.
Man, that's awesome, man. That's awesome. Like I said, do you have anybody else in the back? 'Cause I can go forever with this guy here, man. I got some questions.
No, combo. You good, bro? You good?
I
You
don't want to
good?
be selfish. I don't want to be.
No, man.
So,
Listen,
so
they want. Listen, we good. Hurry up because he ain't got that much time. So
have you,
don't
okay,
keep saying.
okay. Have you ever noticed that DC fighters don't get as cut as much as these other fighters? Have you noticed that?
Oh man, I knew he was gonna do this.
But I'll do my statistical checks now. And, you know, I think I told you guys a story about Chop Chop, right? When Chop Chop fought at the Armory, and I was working with Chop. And I leave the dressing room, you know, to go do something, watch the fights, and I try to come back, and security is there, and yeah, can I help you? I said, yeah, I'm Chop Chop's cut man. You know, a number of brothers in there, right? I said, no, you're not. I am. I'm Chop Chop's cut man. You know, no, you're not. So finally, one of the guys came out and said, no, he's my cut man. But no, that's a good point, and I'll do some statistical facts on that.
Okay, our brother Max would love that. Keep going.
Yeah,
he loves stats.
Man, most definitely.
So what's the statistical facts on that? What's the statistical facts on how, you know, DC fighters don't get as cut as much as other fighters?
well, I don't know. I haven't worked a whole lot of DC fighters, but I know when Chop fought in England, he got cut. So
that doesn't work for my argument. That doesn't work for my argument.
Yeah. Yeah, during that time, Roger Mayweather couldn't go to the UK, so I went as a cut man. But I was a trainer before I was a cut man, so I took Chop Chop under my wing as his trainer, cut man, aficionado.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So have you ever had a fighter where it's so much scar tissue that you're like, you shouldn't take this fight, or this isn't gonna end good for you? Like I've seen it with docs just say like, oh man, you got so much scar tissue here that just know you're gonna bleed. You're at some point in this fight you're gonna open up.
Well, I think fighters kind of at that stage they kind of know they're going to open up, you know, and that's a good question. Yeah, you know, my job's not to evaluate whether they're going to fight or not. My job is to take care of them when they fight, and you know, it's up to them. But if they have, like the Diaz brothers, shit, they got all kinds of scars. Well, I know they're going to get cut, and they know they're going to get cut, right? And you just prepare for those worst case scenarios. But good question.
Okay. So, you said your next boxing. Somebody she asked you about your next fight, but you was talking about that other stuff.
Yeah.
What about boxing? The next boxing match that you'll be in the corner for. When will we see you?
Well, I was going to be with Shane Mosley Jr. in 2 weeks on the Ryan Garcia card, but they moved him back. I got a show on the 15th. I got a show on the 29th. I'm doing bare knuckle fights in Denver, Colorado, and then May the 13th, I'm doing boxing shows, one in Vegas, one in California, and so on and so on and so on. I'm booked to like the middle of June.
Okay.
So with the bare knuckle, you gotta let us know. How hard is it? Because them dudes get cut. They're gonna get cut. Is it harder for you to do MMA cuts or bare knuckles?
That's a good question. MMA cuts are deeper, you know. Yeah, in bare knuckle fights, you're gonna get cut. It's a 80% cut ratio, right? But the cuts aren't as deep as some of the MMA cuts. So, but they're multiple, you know. So you got you're kind of like this and just trying to get the priority ones first. But yeah, they get cut. But that's great, man. You know, I tell people, Kyle, boxers, their fight mentality is here. MMA guys are here. Bare knuckle fighters, their mentality just to go out there and hit is that high. And I went to their press conference in Las Vegas last week, and one of the guys says it hurts when you hit, and it hurts when you get it. And I thought that's the best description I've heard of anyone ever.
But they say that may be the safest form of combat because the less cushioning. So like with boxing, you have the boxing gloves and it gives cushion so you can continue to pound at a person and create damage. When you're doing bare knuckle, you know, your hands are hurting as well. So you're causing damage and you're receiving damage a lot at a higher rate than if you were in a boxing match and this is a one-sided thing.
All right,
Yeah.
we got my main man, World Combat Sports. It's my boy Scotty. Scotty, what's going on?
Hey, what's going on, Kyle? Combo, what's good with it? Shout out to the
How you doing,
legend
brother?
Stitch Duran in the building. What's going on, Stitch?
Man, just kind of doing the old barbershop talk, right? Like, like come to America.
Yeah, man, it's good to have a legend on here kicking it with the content creators, man. Shout out to the boxing section.
Yeah, you guys are doing a great job, man. Boxing section. I want to steal some of those ideas, man.
Well, man, we got so. Hey, Scotty, ask him a few questions because I'm about to do a game with him.
Okay.
So, so I can. I'm gonna get to the game because I only got in for a few more minutes. So, ask as many questions as you can.
Well, I had opportunity of talking with Stitch Duran down in Florida one-on-one. You know, this is World Combat Sports. You know, I've seen you on several occasions. I always want to ask you, you know, your job is to prevent bleeding and to help out fighters when they get injured. But has there ever been a time when, since you have such a frequent rotation, that you've been injured doing what you was doing? You know what I'm saying? Your knees, your hips, or whatever the case may be.
Yeah, well, yeah. Years ago, I had to school of kickboxing first, and we did a show in Bakersfield, California. And I'm walking down the stairs, and I slip and I trip, and I end up just spraining my ankle to the point where it just got, a basketball sprain. And but that's really been the only injury, But yeah, that one took me out for a little bit.
So how do you maintain such a high frequency, on your schedule and everything? You're a high commodity out there. So, how do you maintain that, man, being on the plane and eating hotel food all the time?
Yeah, and that's the hardest part. I have hotel food up to here, bro. I'm sick of it. The flying, it's part of the territory, right? Because if that's the worst that could happen, that's what I tell myself mentally. If this is the worst that could happen, I'm doing okay. But usually if I do a show on Saturday, I'll fly out Thursday, get there Thursday, rest up, do the weigh-in on Friday, talk to the people, and just kind of find out where they're going, do the fight Saturday, and then Sunday morning I'm back home with my family. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it's all dedicated to my family. And once we get off here, I got an appointment, but then my wife says, do you want to go shopping? So I'm a family man.
What has been one of the craziest things you heard in the corner so far in your career? You know what I'm saying? What is one of the craziest things you ever heard, Stitch?
I heard I was doing Invicta, which was an all-girls MMA promotion. And this girl from Beck Rollins, as a matter of fact, she's fighting in the bare knuckle fights. From Australia, she comes, she sits down, she has a little bit of swelling on her face. So I got an ice pack there. And in her Australian accent, she's telling her trainer, I got kneed in the vagina and it hurt, What do I put ice on it or what? So that's been the one. And yeah. So, yeah.
That's a classic right there for real. You know what I'm saying?
And so I asked her if I could do that in the interview, say that in an interview that I did, that I've done. And yeah, she laughed and she says, yeah, of course. Yeah. So that was funny. I got kneed in the vagina and it hurt. I said, okay. So.
Hey, my last question for you, Stitch, dealing with Creed and everything, being that you're like you're like one of the faces of the movie right now. You know what I'm saying? And I think back in the day when you was working with the UFC, how that was a blessing in disguise, because you went up from there. When you was out of the UFC, you just went up, to the skies from there. But with the series of Creed going on, do you think they're going to continue to have you in Creed the remainder of it, just like they did Sylvester Stallone, being that you're a face of that movie now?
That's a good question. I'm going to answer it to you this way. So every day I wrap Michael B. Jordan's hand, just him and I in the trailer, right?
Yeah.
Dressing room and all that. And in the second Creed, I'm telling him how proud I am of him and Tessa and Ryan Coogler that wrote directed Creed and Black Panther, and Steve Cappell that was the director for that one. And he looks at me, looking at me, he says, Stitch, he goes, I'm directing Creed 3 and you're with me as long as you want. So yeah, I'm part of the Creed family.
Okay, no doubt. That's good to hear, man. It's always a pleasure talking to you though, man. I look forward to seeing you in these movies because you fit right in, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah, it's all brand recognition, right? Sure, of course, I understand, but I'm glad just to be part of them. I mean, who wouldn't? You know, I tell people, you know, who do you know have done 3 movies with Rocky? You know, Sylvester Stallone. Well, shoot, I did. I did Balboa when he fought his last fight, and
Yep.
1 and 2, and then I've done 3 with Michael B. Jordan.
Is he coming back? I know he has something to say about that. Is Sylvester Stallone coming back and forth? You know.
Yes, yeah, it was more of a hassle with him and Irvin Winkler, the main producers, and you know that's why this documentary, Kyle, is important because it brings it's contracts. Guys like Sylvester Stallone and you know even some of these musicians in the 50s and 60s, they sold their souls to get where they wanted to go, not knowing that they had equal rights, and that's what happened with Sylvester Stallone. He sold his program to the point, the Rocky program franchise, to the point where he really didn't have a whole lot of jurisdiction. So education is a big part, and you know, yeah,
That's interesting. I
yeah.
appreciate it, Kyle. That's my only question. Salute to you. That Stitch always, man. It's good to see you whenever you're on deck.
All right.
World Combat, man, I always appreciate you coming through and showing love and support, bro. You know how we do, man. You know how we rock, man. You know my man 100 grand pots and pans and all that.
Yeah, no doubt. No doubt, Kyle. 100 grand pots and pans. I'm out.
All right. So Stitch. Now you know how we had the game last time where I would go. You had these 2 fighters fighting each other, and then we had like who will win. We're gonna do a versus, but with cuts. So you would tell me which one is the worst cut. All right.
All right.
So we're gonna get into it.
And let me, because people always ask me who's going to win. So that's a good point. So I said, you know, I don't know. You don't know, and I don't know. That's why I don't like to give predictions. But if you ask me who has the probability of getting cut, I have a better answer for you. So shoot, go for it.
For sure. All right. So honorable mention.
All right.
That's the honorable mention.
Oh,
right,
okay.
Now I did that because you mentioned that earlier in the program. All right. Worst cut.
Those are good ones. Now, if I was to stop a fight, it would be the guy in the left with the big old cut there, because not only does he have a big cut there, but as you can see that his eye is almost closed, and that's when it becomes a disadvantage. Margarito on the left side, he has that cheekbone that's swollen, but his vision is still you can still see.
Okay. Now we're going to the MMA.
All right. Oh yeah.
Boo, MMA, boo.
Yeah, Alistair. Well, you know, both of those should have been stopped right from the get-go anyway. You know, because the point is when the fighter is at a disadvantage, and you look at Alistair Overeem, it performance-wise, it's not going to affect him, but it's just that bad of a cut that it should be stopped. And the same thing with this guy over there is his cut is so big and so deep that and it's not bleeding right now, but I'm sure it was bleeding during that time. That's when the blood gets in the eyes. Man, nice pictures.
Okay. Money, I'm gonna ask him after this. I got you.
Yeah. Rockman. See, the thing with Rockman, it looks horrible, but there's really no damage there. You know, outside of that, what happens is you got a giant accumulation of blood. That's what creates that kind of swelling. You pop the vessels inside, and then they bleed, and they don't go anywhere, so they just build up and make a bubble like Rockman has. Yeah, the other guy, close that up in no time. You know, stop the fight.
Okay.
Good picture, man.
All right, so those were the verses. So somebody had a question. They wanted to know about. Did you see the Colbert and El Rayu fight?
No.
He didn't see it, money. All right, so now we're gonna do this, right? I'm gonna put up a bunch of cards, and you gotta tell me which card you want to work. So what's the fantasy card that you will work? So I'm gonna show you a whole bunch of cards. You tell me how you feel about them, and then at the end you gotta pick one. Okay. All right. All right. So you got Mike Tyson, Andy Ruiz. You got Clarissa Shields, Layla Ali. You got Sugar Ray Leonard, Terrence Crawford.
Which one I would like to work?
No, so this is just one of the finest. This is one of the fantasy cards that you could choose from.
All right. Okay. So I've worked with. Okay, go for it.
Okay. Now you got Floyd Mayweather, Sugar Ray Leonard, Andre Ward, Canelo Alvarez, Jamel Charlo, Winky Wright.
All right.
And then you got Muhammad Ali, Deontay Wilder, Roy Jones, Marvin Hagler, Earl Spence, Vinny Paz, and we're going to see. Let me see. Last but not least, we'll shout out to L-Dub. We'll do L-Dub's card. Deontay Wilder, Anthony Joshua, Earl Spence, Terrence Crawford, Gary Russell, Leo Santa Cruz. So out of all those cards, what's the card that Sitch Duran is? If they say you're going to get one of these cards to work, what's the card you're going to choose?
Yeah, well, when it comes Earl Spence, of course, and Crawford, right? That's the one that, at this point with this young generation, that's the one I would like to work. And as a matter of fact, Crawford he was in the movie too, right? So got a little bit of thing, but then we went from the hotel to the airport together Sunday, and we had some nice chats. But yeah, that's definitely one I would love to work. Mike Tyson, I worked against him when he fought both of. We talked about that the other day. Of course, Andre Ward, worked with him, and Layla Ali, I wrapped her hands one time when she fought. So I got Andre Ward, of course, he did a tremendous job. So yeah, but Earl Spence and Terrence Crawford that'd be the highlight right now. Roberto Duran would have loved to have worked with Roberto Duran. And
okay. And so we got 6 more minutes, and then we gotta get Sitch out. Combo,
real quick, Sitch. What cut man do you see on the other side, and you say, "Oh, this is an easy day for me"?
That's a good question.
It's
because
the boxing session, man. You got to keep it on with us.
That's a good question, but and it's funny because when I go in, when I see the guys wrapping the opponent's hands, based on his technique, I get to understand how good of a cut man he's going to be, if he is going to be the cut man. But I study all. That's a good question, Combo. On TV, if the fights, I recorded them, I'll fast forward unless there's a knockdown. But I'll see the work of a cut man, and there's a lot of guys that still do a lot of bad things wrong. And I tell these young fighters, if the cut man you have puts the swab in his mouth or he puts his in his ear, get another cut man. If ask him what the function is of the adrenaline chloride 1,000, the medication we use. They tell you it's a coagulant, get another cut man. It's wrong. It's a vasoconstrictor. So yeah, those are the guys that I know when I see them work, that I have the advantage. Good question.
You're breaking up, Combo.
We lost him.
Combo, you're breaking up.
No, it doesn't do that.
Combo, you was breaking up. We couldn't hear you.
Yeah, is this better?
Yes.
Is it any better? Okay, I said I literally have had a cut man tell me that it's a coagulant and that it seals the wounds for me, and I didn't. So, yeah.
See,
that's good to know.
And then not only that,
you still didn't drop a name. I'm asking for a name.
No, I didn't. I don't. That's like saying I like Kyle more than I do you.
Hey, I would listen. The guy, he's a likable guy. He's a really nice guy. Really, he's a really nice guy.
I don't slam other guys.
So it's a competitive sport, and I've heard doctors and cutmen and managers, behind closed doors, talk about each other. I respect that the honorable that you won't do that. But is there a particular fighter who you worked with that you knew that he was just he's a straight bleeder? I know you can't speak to someone that's active now, but maybe a fight in the past, you're like, man, this guy's going, his style, the way he fights, and the way he bleeds. This is gonna be a long night for me.
Yeah, Rocket Gannon was way. In fact, he's in this documentary. And he said, I'm a white boy and I get cut and I bleed. You gotta let the fight continue, right? And but yeah, he was. Raul Marquez was a bleeder. You know, in MMA, the Diaz brothers were bleeders. You know, you just know guys that are gonna bleed. And like I said, the bare knuckle fights, they're all gonna bleed.
Dope, awesome. So which ones do you prefer to work? Because you're working bare knuckle, you're working what's that? The back the monkey fighting, and you're working boxing. You know, the greatest sport of all time.
Why do you do
strong
this?
science. Which one do you prefer to work?
You know, I like working them all. How can you not? You know, but it's not so much the work anymore, Combo. It's more of the relationship I have with the people. You know, that's what we do behind the scenes. That's what you got to see, and that's what you got to admire, and that's you know, well, like this MMA show I'm doing Saturday. You know, first time they've come to Vegas. And I did their first shows, but then COVID kicked in and all that. So, and doing a lot of boxing, but I contacted them and I just wanted to go over there and hang out with the guys and wrap their hands free and all that. But they put me on the payroll, you know. So it's more of the relationship that I have, you know, behind the scenes, the dressing rooms and all that. It's a different world than what you guys see. And, you know, it'd be nice if one of these days I could, you know, maybe have a promotion where, you know, you take a fan backstage and they get to spend all day with you and you get to see the relationship that you have with these fighters. That's the whole magic of this game, bro.
So how about this? Let's see if we can work on getting Cal Davis from the boxing section of pass to the next fight that you have in LA or Vegas. He comes down and he just shadows you. He documents you. You know, we send him with a camera and he just, you know, he documents what you're doing. He's not there for the fighters, he's there for you. Would you be okay with that?
Oh yeah, I would, but with the promotion be, you know, that's the thing about it. They're very restricted on credentials, who they give out.
Yeah.
And that's the whole issue.
Yeah, it's
but
okay.
No,
I'm from DC.
yeah. So if you could sell a promotion to do that as a special promo, then you know, yeah, you'll like it. I remember when I was in Abu Dhabi, not knowing that he was one of the young royals, I took him to the back. And he wanted to meet Anderson Silva, and I ended up wrapping his hands and didn't know one of the princes. And he invited me back to Dubai with my family and all that, and it's just because he got to see what goes on and as in preparation for a fight. So that's where the whole thing is backstage.
All right, Combo, we got to get Stitch out of here. He got to be somewhere in a little bit. Before we go, last one.
Oh yeah, see that's that cut Badu. We were talking about Badu Jack and all that. Yeah, but those are both horrible, right? But the one that if I would have had a choice to work on, that would give the fighter more an advantage. Tyson Fury. That one was, you know, the Cutman could have did a little better job on that. But the one with Badu Jack, it was horrible. It made me. I struggled with Badu Jack after that fight because the Cutman did a bad job.
Most definitely. We're gonna get you out of here. Stitch, man, always great to see you. Always great to have you on. Give us your final words, man, before we.
Yeah, well, you know, Kyle, send me your email. I'll send you Boxer's Nightmare, this documentary. It's showing it's rough for me. Keep in mind, we did this on a zero budget, but the interview tremendous. Mike Tyson before he got his tattoo, Manuel Stewart, all these guys. I'll send it to you. Please send it out to your guys, and let's talk about it next time. The issue
absolutely.
The issue that I brought up like the MMA. Let's do it. All right, Combo.
All right, man. No problem. Thank you, man. Thank you. It's Stitch in the boxing section, and we love it.
All right, my man. So let's do it again.
All right, Stitch, man. Thank you again, man. Appreciate you.
All right, anytime, Kyle. You're the man, bro.
All right, y'all. We're gonna end the live stream. We'll be back in a little bit. My son wants something to eat. Boy, I'm on my way. In the words of the great philosopher Lil E, I want y'all to breathe air and live life. You know, it's always a treat when players meet. Thank y'all for bringing me, man. With that, we are out.